Hello and welcome to Zeus Reviews. In an earlier video, I reviewed the Rode Angel Halo Vision Dashcam. In this video, we'll take a much closer look at the Halo smartphone app. I'll do a guided tour of everything and show you how to connect to the dashcam's network, how to download images and videos to your phone, and we'll explore what other features or settings are available in the app. I'll also be posting a separate video where I'll answer any questions you might have about the app or the dashcam, so please post your questions in the comments below and I'll try to get them as soon as I can. With all that said, this is going to be a long video, so let's get straight to it. The first step is to actually install the Halo app. I'm on Android, so I'm getting it from the Google Play Store, and I'll put download links in the description below for both Android and iOS. The next step is to turn your dashcam on. Now, for most dashcams, you'll need to be sitting in your car to do this because they're stuck onto the windscreen. But the good thing about the Halo Vision is that it's attached to the rear view mirror, so you can just disconnect it and bring it home instead. That's exactly what I've done because I don't want to record this in the car, and you can see that it's recording and working normally. By default, the dashcam broadcasts its Wi-Fi network every time it turns on, but if for whatever reason the Wi-Fi is disabled, you'll see the icon with a line through it like this. To fix that, you open the settings and then tap on this icon to turn it back on. Now if we go back to the main screen, you can see that the Wi-Fi is working normally. And while we're here, we can tap on settings again and then tap on about. This will show us the network details. Now the name is different for every dashcam depending on what model you've got, but it's usually something like Wi-Fi_Halo model name. The default password for these dashcams is 1234567890. These are the details we'll need when connecting with the smartphone app, so let's get back to that. The app is installed, I'm going to open it and then accept the permissions, and then we come to the main home screen. To add a camera, you have to tap on the plus icon in the top right corner. It'll ask you to connect to the dashcam's Wi-Fi network, so I tap on Go to Set and it'll bring up a list of available Wi-Fi networks. We can see our Halo Vision network here, and so I'll just connect to that with the password we just checked. 1234567890. It'll connect and then it'll let me know that there's no internet connection, and that's fine, we don't really need the internet at the moment. I'm going to press back and wait for it to set up the connection, and then there we go, we are connected. The first time you log in, you'll probably get a prompt telling you to change the Wi-Fi password, and that's a really good idea, and it's really easy to do. So you just tap on Modify Now and enter your new password. It has to be at least 8 characters, so let's just say I want to do 12345678. Enter it again to confirm, and then tap on the save icon. Once you do that, you will be disconnected from the Wi-Fi, so you have to go back and reconnect using your new password. But once that's done and we're finally in the app, this is what it looks like. The top part of the home screen is your live preview of what the dashcam is looking at, and I'll come back to this in a moment. The second part of the screen is a list of all the snapshots your dashcam has taken. You can tap on the little arrow here to show or hide them, and by default the app automatically downloads the snapshots to your phone. If you don't want it to do that, you can turn that feature off in the settings, and I'll show you how to do that later on. Finally, at the bottom are 3 options. Camera, which is this screen, Albums, which lets you view all the media on your dashcam, so images, videos, events, and Me, which is where you can access the app's settings. If we go back to Camera and tap on the play icon, it brings up the dashcam interface. Here we can see what the camera is seeing in real time. So if I pick it up, you can see my Fossil smartwatch here. There's Spider-Man chilling, and here's a dashcam looking at itself and having an existential crisis. So I'll just pop that back down to the side. Every now and then it does stutter, but for the most part there's very little lag when looking at live preview in the app. If you've got a rear camera installed, you can tap on this icon to switch between video feeds. Obviously my one is disconnected at the moment, so this doesn't work, but I'll show you what it looks like when I'm in the car later in this video. You can tap on the camera icon in the middle here to take a photo and save it directly to your phone. Sometimes it does take a while for it to take a photo, and then sometimes it can take it instantly. But when it's done, you can see it pop up on screen, you can tap on it to view it, and you can also go back to the home screen, see it in the file list, or check it out in your album. Coming back to the live preview, below the camera is a little timeline. You can drag the slider to look back through all the videos that the dashcam has recorded, and you can tap on the magnifying glass to zoom in and out of the timeline. You can also swipe through the snapshots at the top. Once you find the file you're looking for, you can tap on it to view it instantly, or it'll automatically start playing after 5 seconds of inactivity. As with other things, it might take a second or two to buffer, but then it'll play like normal. Now, as far as I can tell, there are no media controls here, so you can't swipe or double tap to go forward or back in the recording. You can only play or pause it using the button on the left. The other thing you can do is swipe up and down to control volume. Again, you can tap on this button to switch between front camera footage and rear camera footage, but what's interesting is that if your rear camera is not connected to the dashcam when you use the app, it just assumes you don't have one. So even though all the recordings from both cameras are stored on the microSD card here, I can't actually access the rear camera recordings because the app won't let me. But later in this video I will show you what it looks like when both cameras are connected. Coming back to this screen, if we tap on the full screen button on the right, the whole thing switches to landscape view and we get a few more options. So we can still swipe up and down to control volume, but now we can also zoom into the footage and then move around. This button lets you switch between recording resolutions, but again there's only one option here, so not much to change. And the download button lets you download the recording. If you take a photo while watching a recording, it'll take a screenshot of that moment in the recording. It won't actually take a photo from the dashcam, and it'll save that file to your album. So let's go back to portrait view, and then the last icon on this screen is the download button. You can tap on that to download either image files or video files. If you're still on the default app settings, there won't be any images here because the app automatically downloads them to your phone. But if you go to the video files, you're brought back to that full screen interface. You can swipe through the different videos or use the timeline at the bottom to find whatever video you're looking for. Again, you can tap on it or you can just wait 5 seconds for it to start playing automatically, and then you can download it to your phone. This can take some time depending on how long the video is, and you do have the option to just stop the download wherever you want and save what's already been downloaded. But once it's complete, you get the option to share or delete it. So that covers what's on the main camera screen. If we now head over to albums, we've got all the photos and videos that the dashcam has saved. If we tap on any photo, we've got the option to edit, share, or delete it. Editing basically involves a whole bunch of different filters to choose from. And we've got movie mode, which lets us add subtitles and resize them, and you can also add a frame or border to the image. There's an option here to crop, but that's never really worked for me. All I see is an error saying that editing is not supported, which is kind of a weird thing for a photo editor to say. That's like the one job it's supposed to be doing. But in any case, we can tap the save icon to save a copy of the edited photo and then either share it or return to the album. If we return to the album, you'll see we've got the original and the edited copy, so we don't lose anything when we make our edits. It's a similar situation when it comes to videos. If we go to video and then tap on any file, we can watch that recording, and this time we do actually get a few media controls. Mainly it's being able to go to different points in the video and skipping between different video tracks, in addition to swiping up and down for volume. You can also tap on this icon to crop in a bit further into the video. If we tap on the 3 dots in the top right corner, we can delete the video file or do some basic video editing. So that involves trimming your video down to a maximum of 30 seconds. Anything longer and you can't go to the next step. You can also turn original picture quality on or off by tapping this. Once you're happy with the 30-second snippet that you've picked, you can tap on next, and then you can add some background music to set the vibes. You can also tap on this button to remove all the sound from the video if your microphone was on during the recording. So let's go ahead and pick some background music. I mean, I don't know about you, but that's exactly what my childhood sounded like. So let's go with that, and then we save our video. It might take a while to export, but once it's done, you can share it on your social networks or open it in different apps, none of which I have installed, or go back to your album where you can see your creation. The last thing in this app is the settings page. So the first option here lets you choose between 10 different languages, but changing this only changes languages in the app itself. It doesn't actually change anything on the dashcam. That's going to stay in English regardless of what you pick. So I'm just going to go back to English here. The next option is to look at the dashcam settings. So here we can change the Wi-Fi network name and password, which we've already done. We can adjust the dashcam's volume using the slider interface, and you can probably hear it going off in the background. I'm going to turn that back to 0. We can also turn the microphone on and off from here just by tapping on that toggle. and below that we can adjust the snapshot timing to different durations. We can also adjust the camera resolution, and again this really depends on what dashcam you've got installed. The Halo Vision does 1440p video for the front camera and 1080p for the rear camera, but that's not connected now, which is why you can't see the option here. If we head over to Advanced Camera Settings, we can adjust whether we want a timestamp on our recordings with this toggle, and we can turn the welcome sound on or off. I'm going to keep it off because I find it really annoying. And we can also adjust the G-sensor sensitivity here. So this is basically the minimum level of movement needed for the camera to start recording in case of a collision or an accident. If you've got your camera hardwired, you can also adjust your parking mode settings here. The first option lets you choose between time-lapse, ordinary video, or sleep mode. I've set mine to time-lapse to save storage, and I like that it's recording all the time instead of just waking up when it detects movement, which is what sleep mode is. You can also adjust the battery monitoring settings here, which is how long you'd like the camera to record video for before turning itself off to save power. Back to the camera settings menu, we also have options to clear out the camera storage. So here you can just tap on Format to clear the microSD card if you need some space and don't really need the footage. I'm going to cancel that. And finally we have Camera Info. This is basically the Wi-Fi network name, the firmware version, how long the dashcam has been running, and the details of the last device you used to log in. If we go back to the main settings menu, the next option in our list is Device Storage Management. This lets you check in on your phone storage, so not the dashcam, the actual phone. It gives you a breakdown at the bottom of how many images and videos you've got saved on your phone and how many more you can download before the storage gets maxed out. You can also delete individual photo or video files by pressing on the trash can icon and selecting whichever ones you want to delete. Back on the main settings page, we've got an option here for offline maps, but this does not work for the Halo Vision because the dashcam does not have a built-in GPS. I think that's only for models like the Halo Pro or the Halo Ultra. Below that, we've got a toggle to automatically download snapshots to your phone. So you can turn this off if you want to save storage, or you can leave it on so you don't have to manually download them every time you connect to the dashcam. And finally, we've got App Advanced Settings. So right at the top, we've got a toggle for bug reporting, and the app actually recommends that you turn this off. And below that, we've got options to adjust the time format that appears on the dashcam screen and videos, as well as a measurement unit, which, again, doesn't really apply to the Halo Vision because it doesn't have a GPS or any way to measure the speed. You can also clear the app's cache here by tapping on that button. The very last thing in the Settings app is the About page, which basically shows you the current app version and the firmware version. You can update the firmware by tapping on New Firmware Available, but only if you're connected to the internet. Remember, we're connected to the dashcam Wi-Fi at the moment, which does not have internet access. So I'm going to switch to an actual internet connection, and we'll tap on this button again, see if there's an update available. And it shows me that I'm already on the latest firmware. So that's an in-depth look at the Road Angel Halo app when there's only one dashcam. But let's go put this in the car, connect my rear camera, and see if there's any difference. Right, so I'm in my car. That's the dashcam. I'll swipe over. You can see the rear dashcam is also connected. Let's connect to the app and check out the live preview. So that is what the front camera is seeing, and if I tap on this icon, we can see it switches to what the rear camera is looking at. And like I mentioned earlier, there's pretty much no lag here when it comes to watching live video. So that is an in-depth look at the Road Angel Halo app and how it works with the Halo Vision dashcam. I will be posting another video where I answer some of the most commonly asked questions about the dashcam and the app, and if you have any of your own questions or comments or concerns, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're safe and well wherever you are in the world. This has been Zaim Siddiqui from Zeus Reviews, over and out.